evening. Hello and welcome. Thank you for those of you that have joined me and Roy. Hello to Roy. It's always the opposite way. Thank you very much. If you are here, feel free to say hi. It's not school. You don't have to sit there quiet as a mouse at the back. And while we're going through the awards tonight, you are welcome to ask questions, tell everyone how great their photos are and champion all the food photographers, and just enjoy listening to what happens. Hello, Nelly. How are you? Nice to have you with us. So tonight we are going to go through all of the awards. Naomi's saying it's a pleasure to meet you, Roy. She's not saying that about me.
Thank you, Naomi. It's very kind of you to notice this grey-haired old gentleman.
But don't think he's a teddy bear, Naomi. I can tell you.
Only on your work.
Yeah, on my work, he's not a teddy bear. On yours, he might be a little bit nicer. So I'm not sure if you can see the comments there, Roy. We've got Maureen, Fiona,
Christy. I don't know. As I say, I'm not used to this stockyard thing. But anyway, just fire away with it. I'm not going to muck your presentation up.
So Roy is, I'm so pleased to have Roy. Those of you in my academy have heard me talking about Roy. Hello, Jean. Roy is the person that has always critiqued my photos and got me to where I'm at now. So I'm always ever grateful to Roy. And now not just judging the competition, but imparting his wisdom tonight and giving everyone that's got to this stage a critique of why they're at this stage and where they are with their food photography images. Roy not only is a brilliant photographer, he has been a judge for many years. He has critiqued for many years. He's been the president of the Master Photographers Association. He is a fellow of the BIP. He is a fellow of what was the MPA. Have I left anything out, Roy? Is there anything else?
Just a nice guy.
And just a nice guy. So if you need someone that's probably got more experience than most of us have forgotten, then this is why I am trusting Roy tonight to impart his wisdom on you.
Can I just say to your membership, etc., thank everybody who's taken the time to enter the images. I have to say, overall, the standard was very, very, very good. Most of them were of an exceptional professional standard. There are two things I look for in judging photographic images that are entering competition. So you're working for a client, you're working to briefs. That's great. Sometimes what you have to do then is look at images slightly different. It's the same image, but it's how it's presented. And that might maybe to do with cropping, making sure the quality of the image is okay. And sometimes I know from shooting all different types of products that, you know, you end up sometimes where the client wants the product in a specific place with negative space drop copying or logos or branding. Sometimes then you take that shot and you want to enter it for a photographic competition, then you have to maybe sometimes do a bit of recropping because the negative space may not enhance the image. So there are a couple of things I'm going to mention as we go through the finalists as to probably why they didn't take that extra little step up compared to, say, the finalists, the gold, silver, and the bronzes. So there we go. I hope all that makes sense. If it doesn't, just keep sending messages to her. She'll pass them on to me, don't worry.
I'm your Debbie McGee tonight, so unfortunately you've pulled the short straw. One last thing before we go through them. These were judged blind. Roy did not know anyone. He did not have any names to go through this. He was judging solely on the image. I think that's quite important to say. So I'm going to now add that to there and ready to go when you are.
Okay, so we're moving forward, and the first category is Savory. Out of the three categories, this, I think, Emma, was the most images entered into that category.
Yeah.
Again, it's probably overall a high standard consistently all the way through. So then I have to go through and look at the little overall, generally, the standard of technical ability from a photographic point of view, the lighting, the propping, the layout are all very good. It comes down then to little bits of detail things that judges as a whole will then start looking at and think, great shot, but and only if. And it's that sort of thing that makes the slight difference that puts you into the slightly higher categories as we go on. So if you're ready, we'll just work our way through the finalists. So generally overall, a really, really attractive image. The color harmony through this works well. So there's nothing clashing. You've got the lovely croissants. When I look at food, there's one thing I look at first of all. I go, do I want to eat that? Yes, I'd love to dip into one of those croissants. They look very, very delicious. The propping's nice. Propping is nice and simple. The harmony of the tea towel napkin at the side brings a lovely colour through it. And you've got this slightly sort of bluish tinge to the grey background. And again, it's a lovely colour tone coming through. So everything's okay. It's not sort of a big wow factor image, but overall, it's a well handled image. And I'm sure that from a client's point of view, they'd be very, very happy. If I want to be nitpicky as we're going through this one, if you've got a horizon line going anywhere, you need to check that it's horizontal. This is slightly out, a millimeter, but it's the sort of things that takes your eye, because that line going through the back, if it's out, will pull your eye to that rather than what you want, which is the hero in the foreground. There's a lovely, nice knockback feeling to this, just enough differential focus to keep the hero, which is the croissants in the foreground, in focus. And sometimes people overdo the knockback, and that can be a bit distracting. But on this, the hero, if you're selling those, are great. So well done. The next shot is it's the word I used when I saw this. I just went, that is beautiful. And while we're engaged in food photography, it's thinking out of the box. I saw this, and then it's so elegant. The color tone, all the palette through color tones with the eggs and one thing and another are beautiful. I blew this up, and you've got all the detail in the shell, so you can see the quality of the eggshell. And there's such a lovely array of eggs in there. And the simplicity then of this lovely shape that comes through it. There's negative space on this, but this is where negative space helps. It's setting the whole thing off. So congratulations, Christine, on this one, because it is a beautiful picture. It's not just a food shot. You could use that, as a graphic display. You could use it in a kitchen showroom to display sort of things. So it's a multi-usable shot in various different genres. Yep, thought this was a well-handled shot. There's some lovely ingredients in there. If there was one thing which I sort of was a bit negative at when I looked at it, is the fact that the carrots, and we've got all the beautiful greenery on, but they just look a little bit past it. If you could have set the shot up and got the carrots as fresh as possible, and then just got it so they didn't look as wilty as what they do, because all the other products on there, the cabbage looks absolutely fantastic. The purple broccoli is really, really beautiful. I just think the greenery on those carrots are just pulling the whole thing down. From a point of view, I like what you've used. I dare say, if you're a photographer, you may shoot babies, and it's one of those sort of props that you see on baby photography. But it's well done. The lighting's lovely and simple. It gives a lovely emphasis, accent coming through, as if you've got a bit of a window light pulling through. So I thought overall it was a well executed and well formatted shot. So again, congratulations on getting through. Yeah, this is just a lovely plate of food. Overhead shot. I like the fact that you've not cropped into the wooden board, chopping board that the shells fish. Are they scallops by any chance, or can you tell from there?
It might be oysters.
Oysters.
Fiona's just said, sorry, Roy, from the last one, it was a newborn prop, so you were right.
Yeah, I thought it might be. Yeah.
That was a newborn prop. Yeah,
I thought it looked like a new, but it didn't matter. That's great use of the prop. Yeah. Why only just have babies in them? Fill them full of bread.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just thought as an overall shot, it's nicely simply lit, which is great. All the ingredients look really, really appetizing and fresh. There's just enough popping around it without overpowering the hero. And you'll hear me say hero, because if you're selling food, you want to be obvious what it is you're doing. I love the bit of sandfire in there to give that green contrast in it. The fact that it's on that board, but then you've got the salt underneath it, just adds this sort of lovely feel to the whole thing. So again, it's not something that's sort of a really staggering, unusual shot, but it's just a well photographed product shot. So well done, Karen. Sam, yeah. This was one of those that when I first opened up all the images to view, I see them all as thumbnails in one go. And sometimes when I do that, I get something that sort of my eye picks out. And this was one of them. And again, it's a nice concept. The really nice black background, but you've got detail in there, and you can see it's a bit old and gnarly. But then you've got all these beautiful peppers on there, and the lighting's nice. And it's a concept shot. It's where it can be used for so many things. It could be used as a knockback or a background on a menu. It could be a poster. So the whole thing just works. It's sort of what I call thinking out the box. So it's not an obvious plate shot of some peppers being cooked or whatever. So I think something like that works extremely well. And the beauty is it's presented as a portrait. Flick that to landscape for whatever reason, and it's going to work. You can turn it upside down. Wouldn't make much difference because all your peppers would roll off. But anyway, there we go. Really liked this shot when it came up. I blew it up on my large screen and went through it, and it's the focus point is perfect before the differential pulls off. I love the fact that it goes back on the lighting and just disappears into the infinity, and you've just got that hint in the right hand corner of the other Yorkshire pudding coming out of the tin. The only one little thing on this one that when I see it at full size is that tea cloth, the red and white, just distracts my eye too much. If it had been another type, a slightly darker color or something more in harmony with it, it would have worked better. That is clashing a little bit, and it's pulling my eye to it all the time. And you're probably thinking, what's he talking about? But when you look at it quite large, I turn it upside down and my eyes go into the cloth. And if you want to find out if something's distracting an image, is produce it, flip it 180 degrees and see what hits your eye first. And when I did it, it's that tea towel or cloth, whatever it is, that was spotting my eye. It's in the perfect position. The lighting on this is exceptional. So I have to, Wendy, commend you on that, because it does everything I like in food shots. There's drama, there's depth, there's light, there's shade, and it works really, really well. So again, well executed. This shot is almost impossible to say anything about it other than it's extremely well done. One of the difficult things, and I've seen a lot, is where you're using anything with black or dark materials. And on this one, you've got underneath, you've got the napkin, which is black on a very dark tabletop. You've got the black ceramic. But when you see this blown up, there's detail in the blacks, and it's something that photographers go on about. Yes, it's black, but you have to have detail in there. If it just goes out to nothing, so when you put the cursor across it, it's 0, then you know there's no information there. The photographer who's handled this knows about lighting, knows about balance, where to fill, and it's great. And then the position of the jug and that beautiful drop of oil coming out of it. I mean, that is perfection to timing to do that, because if you get it wrong and you miss the shot, boy, you're in a load of trouble to have to redo that again and again and again. And again, there's just the hint of the hand coming in. Sometimes people make mistakes. They have the big mitt in the shot and it just destroys the whole image. So congratulations on doing that. Really, really well put together, propping, styling, design, everything works on that. This is a really interesting shot. And again, it looks very, very busy, and it is, but there's a lovely, nice shape to the whole thing. So you can move your eye through the shot. And sometimes having a lot of props, it destroys it because your eye's flicking about from one point to another and things. But this is work. There's been some extreme attention to detail. I mean, to get the spoons beautifully balanced there with the spices in it, there's just enough hint of spillage coming onto it. Look great. The only thing that when I looked at this overall, I put it on the screen, it looked just a tad flat. That's how it might sound a bit stupid, but when you're presenting things, again, for photographic competition, you want to make sure there's enough density, enough pop in there. And all I did on that, I just put the original image, copied it, and then just put a little bit of extra depth of contrast in it, and the thing started to pop to me. So again, it's a really nice image. It could have just tweaked a little bit more. So when you're doing your final analysis of an image, just look at it and think, would that need a little bit more contrast, a bit more saturation, a bit more depth? Bear in mind, obviously, you've got to keep the food colouring bang on. You don't want to artificial colour things in any way. But again, just a bit more contrast on it just made it go. But overall, a really well composed image, lovely propping, lovely layout. This is a nice, simple shot in some respects, and it isn't simple. I liked about this straight away is thinking out the box. That knife coming in there, reflecting the lemons, which is what it's all about. The hero of the shot is the lemons, along with the garlic, which has just got that hint of the clove being crushed out of it. And the colour palette of this works well. It's giving me a feeling of Mediterranean kitchen. The lovely colour palette coming through with the blues and things. So, if you was cooking food which maybe of a Mediterranean style, fresh, bright, clean, then that gives it to me. So it's a well-handled image. So congratulations on that. And again, this is a very, very similar to the other shot, but this is a little bit more, I've got to say, a bit more controlled in the design of it. And again, it's using all these lovely spices and the chilies and the ganangal, I think it is.
We've got some lemongrass.
It's lemongrass, is it? Right. Okay, I've got that.
I don't know what that other one is.
Yeah, but I mean, again, a lot of attention to detail on this. Very, very precisionally put together. The concept looks great. There's a nice evenness to it. The lighting is probably just a wee bit flat on this one. And again, I put this one at the side and just punched a little bit more contrast in it, and it just started to make things pop when it looked at it. So overall, it works well. The only other thing to look at if you were doing a shot like that again is potentially to look at lowering the handle of your lighting and just giving a bit more contrast light coming across. Just add a bit of punch into the whole thing. But again, on this, just a slight bit of post-production on the actual density and the contrast of it, just to make them pop out a bit more for what they are. But it's a great picture. And again, this is another concept shot. I thought, yeah, wow, this works really, really well. Just thought overall, again, on this one, just to punch the contrast a wee bit more would have just made that image pop out. But the concept of the red, black, red, or the red, grey, red work really well. And it's one of these shots that you could use it in so many ways. So really like the shot. I really like the other pepper shot as well. And it's thinking of different things than just photographing food as it is. So well done on that one. Okay.
Okay, so this is it. So we've got our bronze, silver, and gold awards coming up, and we better get on with it. Hey, Roy, what do you think?
Why not? Can I just say, when it comes to choosing the bronze, silver, and gold, when you get to that, I've chosen what I particularly like, and there's certain things that I aspire to, and I see things. You could almost reverse these in order sometimes, because they're all of such a high standard. But I have to make a decision, and I have to stand by that. So I hope you don't disagree too much with the way I've done it. So the bronze is...
Da, da, da. That goes to Sam Folk, the bronze for...
Congratulations, Sam.
Beautiful peppers.
Yeah. Again, the reason why we on that one is it's thinking out of the box. It's as simple as that. It's a multi-use image. So well done. Well, great concept. Beautiful lighting.
Brilliant. And the silver pineapple award goes to Christine Fitzgerald.
So once again, a beautiful picture. Beautiful. I have to say, this was challenging between silver and gold. It's as simple as that, because it is a beautiful image, and I mean beautiful. So there we go. Can't say any more than that.
Rather you than me, Roy.
Difficult decision, this one really was. Okay.
The gold pineapple award goes to, for the Savory category, Anusha Stewart.
Beautiful image. It's almost impossible to look at that and choose anything up with it. And it's as simple as that. I can look at all the others and there's little bits and things and maybe that, but everything about that image, there's nothing you can criticize, because the design, the layout, the propping's beautiful, the technical lighting, the achievement to keep the contrast range going through there and keeping the detail in the dark areas, and then just to get that oil at that one position and got it, and it's lovely. And the bit of greenery just on the top just add that little contrast of the squid ink, isn't it? With ink pasta, squid ink pasta. Yeah. It's beautiful. Really is beautiful.
Lovely. Well done, Anusha. Well done. Well done to everyone. Well done. Okay, so back to you, Roy, for the sweet shortlist.
Yeah, again, the sweets, very high standard all the way through. Took a lot of separating as to the whys and wherefores and which ones went slightly higher than everything, because the standard was fantastic. So again, a beautiful layout. Lighting's nice and simple on it. There's nothing too much drama in there. Again, it's difficult sometimes to go, could you have added a bit more into it, taken a bit more away? But you're working to briefs for clients and things, so that's fine. We have to accept that as judges. But, you know, overall, the whole thing looks really, really appetizing. The Kirk in the foreground is still the hero there, and I can lay my eyes through the shot that takes me to the knockback of the tray in the background. So it's just a really nicely handled shot. Congratulations. And this is almost ditto. I love the color palette of this. All works. It's nice. Do you want to eat that? Yeah, I want to stick my face in one of those glasses and, you know, go for it. And there's the propping's quite simple, but there's enough there to want to sell the whole thing. And again, the background that it's on and the background, the wall, everything works. The lighting is lovely on it. It's just giving me that lovely feeling of evening, afternoon, tea time sort of thing coming through. So again, it's nicely propped and nicely lit and yummy. And again, this is another off the wall shot. Now, whether or not you saw this Sam and thought, oh yeah, I'm going to do that, or one thing or another, or you were producing a shot and you saw the bubbles on the fruit on the inside of the glass, and you saw it and shot it. Again, it's a brilliant off the wall concept shot. I love things like that. You know, it's great when you've spent hours setting all the prop arts and things, but that one particular thing can just be a prize winner just from that point of view. So congratulations, lovely picture.
And interestingly, with this one, you thought it could have gone into the drinks category as well, didn't you, with this one?
I did think, well, yeah, that was another thing. I said, yeah, that could have, you know, easily have gone in the drinks category. Yeah.
Mm.
And again, this is a beautiful picture. Really, really, really. I'm noting that is this the same author as just won the other one? Yeah. Obviously, photographer that is a real artist at their profession. And again, it's got all the beautiful lighting, the control that's in there, the propping, and I mean, you know, look at the pour. It's absolutely superb. Everything works about it. Again, the lighting's drifting off in the background, but again, you can just see there's enough detail held in there. It hasn't gone solid black and you don't know what's behind it. You've got this idea, this infinity disappearing off. So again, a really, really well handled shot. I think that's fabulous. I really do. I just looked at it and smiled. I've got a smile on my face now because when I look at it, I think, oh yeah. The fact that it's orange on orange, it's vibrant, it stands out. The cakes themselves, and I don't know if you produce these or you're working for a client that does specializes in it, but I just think it looks absolutely beautiful. The lighting's fantastic, and there's just enough orange coming into it, and the segment in the bottom left just gives me the feeling of that succulent orange that, you know, you're going to bite into. So just overall, it's just a really, really nice image. And again, this is beautiful. I think the color palette on this is absolutely superb. Everything is in harmony with the figs and the blackberries, and then you've got the floral, and I'm not sure what that is in the background, and I'm not a gardener.
I'm not good with flowers. I'm going with lavender, but
yeah, it could be lavender. Yeah, I think it is. But everything is in harmony all the way through. The ceramic dish that it's on, it matches the tonal range of the figs on the top, and then you've got the lovely napkin underneath it, and again there's detail in that, and it's all harmonized all the way through. So I just think it's a really, really lovely picture. This shot, when I first looked at it, I went, oh wow. And then I went, why have you left a plastic tub with this horrible spoon in it? Now, this comes down to thinking about, you may have shot that because the client wanted it in, because that's how the product is brought to bear within the plastic tub, and you've got the scoop in there. Take that out, and the rest of the image is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. The color palette again on the wood, you've got the lovely book in there, and then the flowers coming in. You just got this vibrant to it. But unfortunately, on this occasion, leaving that plastic tub in there has killed this shot from what it could have been without it. It's not necessary. If you'd have taken and you wanted to have, you know, the raw material in there, if you'd have put it into a nice glass bowl or a bit of ceramic, something with the scoop in, yeah, it'll look fabulous. But it's not needed in the shot. And I hope I'm not being too horrible about it, but it's a lovely picture. Everything works for it apart from the plastic tub.
I think you're quite mild for you, Roy, but there we go.
Yeah, well, I think we had a few images from this author and to do with this cake. It works. It's a nice image. On a personal basis, I wondered about all the flower arrangements. What's it got to do with the product? I was trying to, sometimes I have to try and link the stories together. There must be a reason for it. I don't particularly know why and what. But I think out of I think there was 3 images of this particular type of cake, but the lighting's quite nice on it. Again, I just didn't quite get the connection between all these flowers and this whatever's in the cake. It might have something to do with that. But overall, it's a nicely well put together image. Again, it's just another brilliant image. There's so many things I like about this. I love the tonal range. The lighting is fantastic on it. It really is. The propping works superb. And I would say that if that, there's a name for these, it's Portuguese, aren't they?
Pastel del nata.
Oh, well, I'm not going to repeat that.
Just say Portuguese tart.
It's a Portuguese. I know a lot about Portuguese tarts, believe you me. If that had been left in the tin, it had just been a good shot. Having that split at the side with the crumbs, etc., it just works. But the mood of this is what I really love about it. And the mood is all down to lighting. And that's the thing, as photographers, you have to become masters of and control. And that can often separate your images. If you think of the one with the eggs, that was beautiful, soft overall lighting. And it was in harmony with it. And again, it was fairly flat, but for that subject, it worked really well. If you'd have put that type of lighting on this, it probably wouldn't have even made it through to the finals. So you have to think about lighting and control and trying to get the story, the light, the shade. I often say to people, if you sat in the theatre and the house lights were on, the performers on stage, you just go, what's happening? But then you get the masters of the lighting come on and create mood, atmosphere, and drama within everything. And that's what we have to do as photographers. Whether or not you're using natural light controlling that comes through flash photography or LEDs or whatever, but you have to be the master of it and experiment and try different things. This photographer knows how to use light. And that's a great picture. That just makes me smile. It's beautifully nice, simple lighting, nice and clean, nice and fresh. And the lovely thing about it on this one is it's selling Easter to me with the eggs. I love the fact that in the background, you've got the white plates, you've got the white tiles and the milk, and yet you've held the detail in them. They've not blown out. Often you get white coming into something and the light hits it, blows it out, and it doesn't work. That is extremely well controlled. And again, it's a very flat lit subject, but the lighting has been extremely well controlled. So it's a lovely picture. This is superb, well done. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, this is fantastic lighting. You've got the pour coming down there, absolutely delicious. And again, you've got the highlight, the hero, which are the pancake things, but all the propping. I love the fact that the foreground is slightly knocked back on the focus, then comes into focus and then drops back out. In the background, you've got the blue ceramics with the berries in. You can see all the detail in there, and then yet the background, you can still see detail in it. And then even the flowers, which get farther back, you can still see the shape of the ceramic vase. So it's a really well handled picture. Congratulations. Like this shot, again, this comes down to the simplicity of lighting. It works really well, simple propping. Potentially the only thing I would suggest if you did this again is, do you need that foreground of the table? Could you have brought up the camera a little bit so we were just keeping the front rim of that in? You don't need to see what's underneath it, or cropped it to a bit more of a thinner shape. But overall, it's a nice looking thing and you want to eat it. Really like this picture. Well done. And again, when I spoke at the beginning, I talked about that's what you supply to the client. You've got this sort of negative space on the right-hand side of the image. If I crop that as a square, take off that right-hand side, there's a perfectly brilliant picture there. You don't need all this negativeness on the right-hand side. It's not doing anything for the image. From a client point of view, it's there for a reason. I get that. From a photographic point of view, make a square image out of that and really pulling slightly closer to the pies and the icing sugar coming down. and you'll get a much stronger image to present to a judge within a photographic competition. So you have to look at things and go, less is more. Simple as that. Oh,
we've made it through to the awards. Are we ready?
So
again,
the 3 images now coming up. Again, there's a bit of personal preference in here. They're all very strong images, so don't be disappointed to get to that standard. You know what I mean? I'm just in front of lots of people, and I could well imagine these images coming up in front of a panel of judges, and they would all see the strengths within the images.
Yeah, there've been some lovely shots, but there can only be 3, and I'm so glad it was you that had to do it. So the Sweet Bronze Pineapple Award tonight goes to Naomi. Because it made Roy smile, but
it's a lovely shot. It really is. I mean, it does everything you want within a photograph. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? I bet the client must be absolutely buzzing when they get that. You can just see it on their posters on the walls, advertising, whatever it is. It's just nicely done. And again, the simplicity of the props of the oranges, but they're not overdone. It's not cluttered with knives or cutlery or anything else like that. It's just selling the hero, which are those beautiful orange cakes. Well done.
Lovely. Well done, Naomi. And on to the Silver Pineapple Award for the sweet category. It is
Yay! Beautiful image. So well put together, the whole thing. Again, this and choosing the goal was lots of things, but at the end of the day, it is a beautiful image. So congratulations, Maureen, on that.
They gave you a run for your money, didn't they, Roy?
I certainly did. It took me a long while I've been looking at these for a few weeks, haven't I? To get to the point where I've sort of sat and looked at them and think, but it's a beautiful image, so should be very, very happy producing work of that quality.
Well done, Maureen.
And
on to the Sweet Golden Pineapple Award. It is Eula Mickelborg.
It is absolutely fantastic. Again, it's a little bit like looking at the Savory one. Is I can't see anything that distracts my eye from not loving it. It's as simple as that. This and the silver one, I've gone over and over and back and over and back and over and back. So they're both fantastic images. Simple as that. There's just something in me that I connect with that. And it's absolutely just something about it. It's just a really, really lovely image. It's got a lot to do with the propping on this because it's just all works together. That's it. So again, I hope I haven't disappointed too many people, but congratulations.
No, they're all so nice. They're all congratulating everyone here, and Eula said, "Wow, thank you so much." So very nice. But well done to the winners. Well done to everyone. There is just some excellent images, and as I say, rather Roy than me having to narrow it down to those 3. So well done, everybody. On to the drinks.
So when Emma sent me the images, that there wasn't anywhere near as many images entered into the drinks category as the other 2, which the standard was very high. I gotta say, a little bit disappointing from that point of view, but it means that we have to look at what's entered. And from my point of view, if there's nothing that's got what I would call the wow factor, then I have to take that into consideration. Even though there's less entries, if I feel that the standard doesn't hit the highest high, where you've got that one image where I go, oh, that is phenomenal. So on this occasion, there will not be a gold award. There will be a bronze and a silver award, because there wasn't enough quality to hit that one high spot. The images are good, but again, there's a lot of things that we have to put into it. So I hummed and hawed about it, but I think if one of these would have potentially have been given a gold and it was put around, you got to be careful that people go, well, hang on a minute, that's I've seen 2 other images from them awards, they were phenomenal, that's not quite there. So we have to bear that in mind. So apologies, but you've got to sort of learn as you go along.
Yeah, and we were inundated with the savoury and the sweets, and just future thing to do is enter the drinks category, because it was obviously a lot lower. So
well, we did mention about the shot in the glass with the fizz.
Yes,
We don't, that in this category would have stood out.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
think about it.
Choosing the right category as well to put.
Yeah, there's always that, and
Yeah.
believing in it. Yeah. Anyway.
So here we go.
Okay, first image. Overall, this is a really nice image, and the lighting's good. I can see what the hero is, but it's obliterated by what's happening in the background. And the simple way to do this, and I actually copied this image and blew it up. And what I did is I cut through the guy's knuckle, took out the whole of the left-hand side where his arm's absolutely jumping out at me, and made a long, thin picture, cropped it a little bit at the top. So we got the knuckle with holding the Tabasco, brought the top down a bit, and then cropped through it. And it makes a fabulous image because it's got impact. At the moment, flick that 180 degrees, you're just going to look at his arm, basically. It's as simple as that. And it's not necessary. So you've got to look at it and think what shouldn't be in there. And again, less is more. But by doing that, you've got a fabulous picture. The author is, I would just basically just do that, just crop it and see what the difference is and put them side by side. You might think I'm got it completely wrong, but there's a fabulous image there.
Cheers. That beautiful out of the Tabasco, the little,
it's just absolutely
coming out.
It's like the oil on the pasta. It's perfection. So that is the shot there.
Mm.
This is a great image. I love the lighting. Emma does a lot of photographs like this, and it makes me feel summery and happy, and everything in it. The prop is fantastic. It just adds that one bit of excellence on it. The only thing, again, there's a lot of negative space top and bottom on this. I took this image, copied it, and made it square just for the sake of it, and it makes a beautiful squared image. So yes, you need that for the client, but from a photographic point of view, if you take that carrot and just make it a square, the 3 glasses then jump out at you. The only one other micro thing when I looked at this image was just check the distance between each glass, because if you're going to do symmetry, make sure that the spacing is symmetry, and get something to put between each glass rim and make sure it's absolutely precise, because that one looks slightly closer to the one on the left of the image than the right. Fraction, you're talking a millimeter, but it's that when you're doing that type of precision shot that you want to make sure everything is spot on. But it's a lovely image, beautifully lit. Yeah, this was okay. I think you've got to be very careful if you put in bright key light, shafts of light through images. On this one, the concept works well, but it's starting to blow out. So you need to look at how you control that light. So you've got the light coming in on the left-hand side, and just before it gets to the glass, it's really burnt out. So potentially what you need to do is, once you've got your light set and you're happy with the width of that streak coming through, is you may just have to flag off the nearest bit to the light source just to take some of the punch out of it. So it's a lovely light coming through. But overall, it's nice. You've got the glass nicely lit, so it's got the shape to it, and you can see the fizz. So it's well handled, but it could have been taken a little bit farther forward. But it's well done. Just think about little bits of things that do. Again, flip that 180 degrees, see what hits your eye first. And again, we're back to the pouring shot, and I'm going to say exactly what I said on the first shot. I did that. I cropped off down to the second finger, and brought that in. So you've just got his thumb and finger holding the strainer, and you've got a beautiful, beautiful picture there. But again, there's this bright light on the left-hand side of the image, and it's just not necessary. And then you've got his logo on his polo shirt. That doesn't need to be there. You're not selling polo shirts. But again, if you crop it where I did it, you'll probably just take that out and just lose that little bit off the top. The only other thing on that, you can just see his thumb coming around the back of this shaker thing. And again, yes, he has to hold it that way, but he could have just moved that out of the shot or retouched that afterwards, because it's just a little bit, again, it's just one of those things that sticks out to you. But by just less is more, you make a cracking picture. So it's a great shot, but and again, this is just a nice picture. It's as simple as that. Fairly simply lit, but the elements in it are all well handled. They've been well thought about, well put together. You know, you can see the fact that how this has been put together. You've got the stir of the ice and the lime. I'm not sure what the powder is, but as you can see, that it's gone around the glass top. So again, it's a really, really nice, well put together. No sort of burnt out spots or anything on it. It's a nice bit of design. Everything works on it. So congratulations on that. This is okay, but my main concern on this was that the margarita that's in the glass, it's unfinished. It just needed propping a bit. It needed something just to lift what is the hero, which is the finished product in these lovely glasses. So that's about 90% there. You just needed to add in them extra bits just to fill the whole thing out. Yeah, nice picture. Lighting's looking okay on it. But this is one of those that's, it's not one thing or the other. I would, on this one, instead of saying I want to crop it in, what I want to do is to expand out of this shot and probably get more of a shot of the whole thing. So you've got the whole of the coffee cup and saucer in there, and the cafeteria coming in. You might have had to bring the cafeteria in maybe a little bit closer to it. So at the moment, I'm trying to work out the story of how he's selling the beans, and you've got the finished product in, but it's not really the main part of it, because you've got the Hessian sack there, one thing another. So it's a bit of a mismatch of everything. So it's not one thing or the other. So could we have gone in a bit closer if it's for the beans and just got a hint of the coffee and one thing another? So it's there, but not quite. Oh,
okay.
Now, there's not a lot on this section, so apologies on that.
There is not. So the Bronze Pineapple Award for the drinks category is Karen Clark.
Congratulations, Karen. Again, few little pointers. If everything had been done 100% on that, as in the positioning of the glasses to make sure they're equidistant, absolutely spot on, and potentially could have just taken a bit step up. But, you know, if you're putting things in front of judges, they're going to be nitpicky. It's what people expect. It's not to be nitpicky for the sake of it. It's to make you re-look at your images before the final submission. And you look and you go, oh, I could improve that. I'll move that a fraction. Check, double check the density, check the thing. And again, on this one, I just did that. It'd make a fabulous square image. But it's beautifully done. And, you know, the genius is just having that one strawberry there. Well done.
Lovely. So the Drink Silver Pineapple Award goes to Anusha Stewart, gets the silver award.
So congratulations. I really like the shot. Again, there's nothing that's going to make you jump up and down and swing your pants too much about it. But again, it's just extremely well executed all the way across. There's one thing on this, again, that didn't push it past that, is on the right-hand side, you'll just see something coming into the image. Now, I'd like to have seen just a little bit more space to see what that is on this shot, or I would have taken it out. So it's just a little bit of thing. I don't mind the glass at the back being cropped because there's two perfectly good heroes in the shot anyway that's telling it to you. But if you look on the right hand side, there's just that something coming in. It might be another piece of lime or something, but it's not telling me what it is. So I either want it in the shot or out of the shot. So these things that just detracted and pulled away from it. But again, it's nicely done. The lighting's beautiful on it, nice and simple, and propped extremely well.
So well done to
And
the drinks winners. And breathe and breathe. So they are our winning images from the evening. We've got the bronzes with Sam, Naomi, and Karen. We've got the silver awards with Christine, Maureen, and Anusha. And we've got our gold pineapple awards going to Eula and Anusha there. So well done to everyone. As we said, the standard was very, very high. It did make it very difficult for Roy, but he's equipped to do that.
I think if you see them as a panel of images, I think you can appreciate them even more of a set of high quality food images that would fit all different genres within the industry. And again, attention to detail. You know, I'm looking at some of these. I wish I could give. They're all really, really lovely.
They really are. Lovely. Everyone's really, done really an amazing.
Are these all your Academy people, by the way?
There's a lot of my Academy in there, and that's why it's good for you to do it judge blind. So yes, a lot of my Academy members are on this page now. So excellent. I feel like proud mum.
She's pretty good, isn't she? Let's face it, she's pretty good. She's recently posted a couple of images which I've not seen, because since I used to see Emma's work when I did the monthly critiques for the MPA, and obviously that's all gone now. And I always, for years, have looked forward to seeing her work coming up. And she's posted some on social media, and they are absolute. You should. I don't know if you show your Academy people them, the last few that's been up there. They're absolutely stunning.
Well, I leave it for them to show me, not for me to show them.
Well, you see, but the point being is to show them those few images that I've commented on, is they see that, they take inspiration. You are now a person where people look for that inspiration, you know, to encourage them to do more, to try things and experiment and work out. You know, the attention to detailing, the propping, the lighting to get the mood right, the color palette and all them things. So they need to see them to make them go, oh, wow, I want to do something like that.
Isn't that funny? We come on, we do the awards, and I still get told off by Roy. Always.
I'm telling you to
never going to go away.
Your clients. Your clients. Anyway, I hope I've thoroughly enjoyed being a part of this. Thank you, Em, for asking me. Thank you for dragging me around the photography show to listen to you and one thing another.
You are more than welcome. And we're hoping to be back bigger and better next year. We've got some more plans for next year's competition. So do watch this space. We've also got some other judges in the background, haven't we, Roy? Because Roy wants a panel. So we're looking at a panel for next year. But it's going to be really exciting. Seeing the standard of everything that came through this time was just amazing. So to give people more time and to let you know that this is coming up again next year, and it's going to be bigger and better, is just really lovely to be able to tell you. What have we got there? Naomi, she's a great Academy mum. Yeah. She's saying thank you to us. Thank you. Emma is mum. Now can we call you Dad, Roy? Now that sounds a bit weird, but he can be Dad. He could be Granddad.
I'm more Grandpa, actually, my age. It's as simple as that. One of the nicest comments I've had in my life was when we did a talk a few months ago, that somebody said, could you ask Roy to be Granddad to my kids?
That was Karen with the pink milkshake.
Well, that was a beautiful thing to hear. So thank you so much. It touched me, believe you me.
Oh, that takes a lot. So those of you that have won, you will get a certificate, you will get the logo for your gold, silver or bronze, and you will get the Golden Pineapple Awards 2024 text so that you can put it onto your images tomorrow. This will come out to you at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I don't want to send it out to you tonight because there's a few people that have won that have not seen this yet. So I'm going to be sending this out to you at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So you've still got time to post it. It will be posted on all my socials. It will go out to my very large database and it will be shown everywhere tomorrow for you guys to be championed and rewarded for your own photography because it's absolutely amazing. You can use everything when it comes through to you in the morning and obviously post about it or repost. But tomorrow is about championing you guys of how well you've done and the standard of food and drink photography that you've achieved tonight. So,
and on the back of the certificate is my address for my tip.
Yeah. The tip is you won't do it again. Christine said, "Hey Roy, I'm 71, so you can't be my dad or my granddad."
Well, I'm just about to come up to 71, so we can be soulmates.
There you go. That's Christine with the eggs in the.
Oh, the eggs, beautiful. Yeah, absolutely beautiful, Christine. Yeah.
Oh, she's saying it's been a valuable experience. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to Roy. Go out there and champion these images because they're all beautiful. Whether you're in the shortlist or you've won, go out there and champion them. This is what this is about, to make you guys feel good about what you do and to carry on succeeding with it. So thank you very much. Thanks to Roy, and we will catch up with you on the next one. Bye.